Hello, my name is Philip Totaro. I'm the founder and CEO of market research firm IntelStor. Welcome to your weekly dose of truth to power. Truth to Power examines data driven insights for the energy sector with a focus on renewables. On this week's episode, we'll look at the likely changes to the IRS guidelines in the USA that could impact eligibility for both the investment tax credits and production tax credits. The tax and budget bill, which was signed into law on the 4th of July 2025 in the USA, has left all renewable energy companies reeling a bit. But one of the most profound impacts for wind energy actually comes in the form of a likely change to the standard definition of the start of construction that is used to qualify projects for the production tax credits. Keep in mind that this wasn't even part of the tax and budget bill language itself, but it was instigated by an executive order from the US administration. Now, in order to claim the production tax credit, independent power producers must meet certain criteria. There are two ways you can qualify: safe harboring or starting physical work on a project site. Safe harboring works by incurring a minimum of 5% of the total project capex. One trade off is that the developer must physically store turbines until they're installed, which necessitates maintenance, it necessitates having a storage facility, etc. But developers get up to 4 years to commission a project based on safe harbored turbines, or they lose the start date for claiming the PTC and they'd have to start again. This is valuable because it's an adequate time horizon to secure project finance, sign power offtake agreements, or perhaps wait for changes in interest rates so that they can have a lower cost of capital. The other way in which start of construction could be defined and claimed was if the project actually began physical construction at the project site. Now, from a practical standpoint, many project developers could get away with having some earth moving equipment on site and undertaking basic works on the balance of plant. So, what is the intention of this executive order, and how could these qualification rules be changed as a result? Will it be good for the industry, or does it actually make things worse? After the tax and budget bill was signed, the US president directed the Treasury Department to issue, quote, new and revised guidance within 45 days that is consistent with the applicable law. Now, based on IntelStor's analysis of the administration's behavior since January, the following are the changes that we think are likely to be proposed by the IRS to the start of construction eligibility criteria. First of all, they could technically raise the minimum threshold of 5% of capex spent in order to qualify for the safe harbor. While this is less likely than other proposed changes to actually be implemented, it's possible they could increase it to, let's say, 8% or 10%. Now, this will have a beneficial effect on the wind turbine OEMs if it's adopted, since they would not only fill their order books and receive more money up front, but it will increase the capital requirements for the project developer, and it could actually make some projects unfinanceable based on the cash flow requirements that they may have for a tax equity financed project. A more likely change to the safe harbor requirement would be to reduce the length of time that you can safe harbor. It's currently up to 4 years, as I mentioned before, but that could be significantly reduced. A reduction in this time horizon from 4 years down to two, for example, would make safe harboring turbines less effective and less desirable. Reducing the term of the safe harbor could lead the project developers to opt for physical construction to qualify their project for tax credits. It would also necessitate more expediency for the project developers to sign either utility or corporate power offtake agreements. But keep in mind that until these rules are finalized, the existing rules are still in place. and that's unlikely to happen until the end of this year. It's also likely that they will increase the threshold for physical work completed on the site to include a certain amount of hours spent or a certain percentage of project completion which has occurred before they're able to submit the application to claim the production tax credits. From a practical standpoint, the IRS does not have the personnel to do audits of the status of the physical work. So what's likely is that the project developers will be required to self-report and self-certify under the supervision of an accredited accounting and audit firm. What is the most likely scenario and the most likely change to these tax credit qualification guidelines is going to be the combination of the safe harbor requirement and the physical work requirement. Today, it's an either or situation. What they're likely to do is make it an and. And if this is implemented, it will reduce the project pipeline for projects which would have been eligible to start construction by the 4th of July 2026 in order to avoid the requirement to have the project completion by the 31st of December 2027 for full PTC qualification. While all the proposed changes are likely to be made in order to hamper the industry's ability to claim the production and investment tax credits, there's a short window of opportunity here which the wind energy sector can exploit under the current IRS guidelines. As a result of all this, IntelStor expects a surge in corporate power purchase agreements. This will come as a result of some of these legal changes in the PTC eligibility dates, as well as the pressure applied to project developers from these anticipated changes in the qualification criteria. The increasing demand from technology companies and data centers, as well as a desire to lock in long-term fixed PPAs in the face of a potential surge in power prices, will lead corporate power buyers to try to lock in more lucrative deals sooner rather than later as they anticipate these price increases. Thank you for joining me this week. I'm Philip Totaro, and this has been your weekly dose of truth to power. Follow us on IntelStor's YouTube channel as well as your favorite audio platforms. And visit www.intelstor.com to join more than 200,000 subscribers to our renewable energy data solutions. A full analysis of the tax and budget bill impact on wind energy is available to subscribers. And you can register today for the next Wind Summit event in Houston, Texas this October. Visit www.windsummit.org and join hundreds of your industry colleagues from companies like NextEra, EDPR, EDF, Pattern Energy, Clearway, Apex Clean Energy, and more. We hope to see you there.